Thank you very much.
And one more thing, we were just discussing about when we heard about this music therapy, we had a general notion that how is this generalizing is going to work out with patients. I don't know. We have discussed it.
Generalizing means?
For certain ragas we just mentioned, like certain ragas fit to this such and such.
See, people actually just mistake music research and music therapy research.
I think
in music research, because the reason is, in music therapy research, most of the people involved are classical musicians. Now, those people are more concerned with the musical part of it, not with the medical part of it.
Okay.
For me, both are important. You know, I am actually doing, on one area I am doing the musical research and the other music therapy research. You know? When you join both, as I told you earlier, music, a person who is interested in music, he may be doing some spiritual work with him, but he is doing that for his own benefit most of all. No? You are a musician, no? You know it. So because you know it is an economical part of it. They become very famous, they become very top musicians, they get more money. So it has got that part. But for a music therapist, that is not the thing. For us, what we are doing is we are taking that spiritual part of it. That economic part we are just pushing away. But taking that spiritual musical part alone, and then we are utilizing it for the benefit of the society, for a socio-political message. So, when you are using that as a this music as a socio-political method or socio-political message, naturally you have to know what is the basis for this spiritual, what is the spirituality behind that. Now, then you go on to research on ragas. When you go to research on ragas, you have to go to the research on the Melakatta ragas, because it is from that all the other thousands and thousands of ragas. Now, when you go to Melakatta ragas, you go to all the permutation combinations of raga, that is a mathematical part of it. Then that thing is actually given in the Vedas itself. That is given in the Vedas.
No, I'm asking how.
No, one minute, if I tell you. See, why is this like that? That is what I am talking about. Why is this number 72 so important for us? Our heartbeat is 72. No? Now, when you take breath, breathing, 72 Melakatta ragas are permutation combinations, the same thing, 7,200 minutes is the time that we actually, that is needed for at least to hit something out. So, Shwasa. So, your body, that number, that mathematical permutation combination number, which is given in the Veda, and also 720 is 360 into 2. That means the entire cosmic circle into 720. So, entire cosmic circle, the cosmic music and your small body music is working in the same. So, they had a permutation combination number 72, and in this 72, they are using 7 swaras, but in 22 positions. That is, you just think, 22 by 7 is the pi, pi r square. Have you heard of pi r square? Even though you are a musician. So that is the parithi. That is the area within which everything is contained. So this 22 Sudhisthanas and 7 Swaras in such a beautiful Brahmanda, in this beautiful small body of ours working together, that is the basic of it. Then comes the Tantric Veda. This is given in the Vedas. So Vedas are so very old. And in Tantric text also, how they are originated, how they got this. The origin of the nada, when they speak about the nada, the origin of the nada, the origin of sound vibrations, everything is related to this number only. So that is how we have to go back and back into the oldest human thought. Don't think about Indian. Veda is Indian, I agree. But you just think about an Indian ancestor is also a world ancestor, no? So the oldest ancestral thought, you have to go to the Vedas only. No other thing. So when you go back, you will find all the scientific and all the artistic reasons why we should use ragas in an Indian context. But this need not be used in other contexts.
Because that's what happens is that in American music therapists try to take these ideas and be like, oh, well, in Indian music therapy, they say that this raga will produce this effect.
Actually, they need not worry about this, because this is an Indian cultural and what you call an artistic as well as scientific cultural thing which Indians are used to. This is our regional specialized type of music which they may not be aware of, even which they may not be familiar about. So they need not worry about that. They can use their regional thing, but it would be better that we also realize that.
Well, I think
we should realize this. Otherwise, we will lose our culture.
I think the problem with it for Western music therapists is that for you, it's obvious just from listening to it, the numbers. I mean, there is science. There is a level of reason and consideration put into all of these things. Western musical therapists, they don't know why they do things to that degree. They don't have a scientific reason for how to consider these things. So when they see you do this, they're saying, "Oh, so that's just a key for us to understand."
I have a point. What she said is like that's the main difference between both the Western and Eastern music. You have only 12. You are based on the key things, 12 notes. She's talking about the 22 Shruti. She had.
That's a divergence when you come to the basic culture.
Yeah.
Basic culture is different anyway. But you know that we can keep our cultural characteristics, but still be cooperative with each other, and we can use the modern scientific methods and become universal. That's what. So regionalism should be there. If you lose your regionalism, if you lose your 22 Shrutistanas, if you lose your swaras, you are nothing then. You are just mimicking the Western. Similarly for them also.
See, that's what I'm saying. They're just mimicking. Is what I think.
They need not mimic us, and we need not mimic them. We can keep our specificities. Then in the research field, the modern medical research field, you can be safe. Use the same methods here and there, because it is there that we unite. Research methods should be the same, but the ragas, this thing, and should be here and there. Say Mozart, Beethoven. You can use the classicals there. Here we are using the classicals. There also they can use it. There is no problem in that.
That is what I'm saying is like mainly that the thinking of music therapy. What we got is a wrong thing. As you pointed out,
because you as musicians, you are listening to the musical part only.
No, I'm not. What I got the idea is like I think many of our students have done research on this music therapy, and they have generalized like this raga belongs to this, and that idea is not.
That is the musician's way.
No, I'm not telling that it is right.
No, I have heard some people saying that Ananda Bhairavi reduces.
It is not sitting on.
See, it is not Ananda Bhairavi alone. Even if you give Shama, even if you give Mohana, it will reduce the pressure.
Yes.
It doesn't have
that is what we were
But when I
discussing
say that, the musicians look at me like this. You are only a doctor. Why do you say that? But it is the truth.
The same thing. Yeah.
Because I have so many patients whose blood pressure has been brought down with Mohana, with Shama. It's so many. These people say that only Ananda Bhairavi for blood pressure. That is wrong.
That is what I'm saying.
One thing about Amrita Ames. So I was I had a problem when I first came to India, and I take a medication for seizures because of my.
Do you have that?
I have one a year. I actually had one 3 weeks ago. But I'm mostly fine. But I had when I arrived in India, my medication, for some reason, I don't know whether my blood pressure was high or something, but I started having my level was toxic, so I'd be basically dizzy all the time, and this lasted for 2 months. And then finally, I was so dizzy, I was seeing cross-eyed, and I checked myself into the emergency room. And what was interesting to me was that in the Ames emergency room, they were playing the music.
They are paid.
And it was so relaxing. And this is something you would not find in America.
Way back, they have started it. I was there for 4 years as a professor of pathology of the department. Then I had started all those basic things there. Actually, I had given a collection of music there in the computer room. But I think all those boys have left. Now those collections are probably not there. On my computer itself I had collected and given. Maybe it has lost, I don't know. Then I had asked for a room for doing this. It is still there. In the pathology department side room, it is actually a quiet room with a system and all. You can go and sit there, and because my patients used to come there. There was also a sofa, reclining sofa in my. Well, patients used to come there and sit with me, hear music and go and. So that was a very regular system there. But when I left, I think that those things are not happening. I don't know. Maybe that is not happening there now, because nobody is that much interested like me there. I think they have stopped, but still they are still playing all those things. They are interested in this.
I was affiliated.
Actually, with whom are you working now?
Well, that's what I was just about to tell. I was about to tell you. So I
Is
was.
there Anand Kumar there still? Anand Kumar in your.
Yes.
He is interested.
Yes, I liked him a lot. So I was associated with actually the neurology department. I had a little bit of problems because it took me a little while to. It took me like 3 months before my study was approved, and then the day later my family showed up for 2 weeks, and then I had 3 weeks, and then I went home for Christmas, and I came back, and then I only had a month, and so whatever.
So you didn't have much.
I didn't have as much time as I thought. If I was the person I am now at the beginning of my stay, I would have had a because the first 2 months I was just trying to figure out how to get along. It took me. I mean, I lost a lot of weight in the first 3 months, and so it took me a lot to just become comfortable. But what I was going to say was. Yes, so I had hoped to work with the neurology department, but they were very busy with all these things.
And there is that help in any busy super specialty hospital, it will be there.
And
you have, because they are having so lot of stress. Those people who are dealing with these cases, they have to have stress. Actually, they too need therapy.
Yeah. Well, that's what they teach us in the social work school. In the social work school, they teach us about countertransference and how other patients. Yeah, well, we're not actually filming with that, but we actually learned from that countertransference how our clients' issues affect us. But so at Ames they have a or at least I thought to begin with that they have a memory clinic that meets once on Fridays, and then I find out it's they only get 4 patients, and then I only find out actually it's not once every Friday, it's once every second Friday. And by the time I found that, I realized oh god, I'm not going to be able to see many people. But the weird thing was that if I had not been at Ames and if I had been at Amrita Puri, I would have worked with the social work department, which is much smaller, and I would have been very close to Kayankalam. And Dr. Roy, he is based in Kayankalam, and he has 2 memory clinics that are right there. So I could have taken students there. So
I think that they have got branches all over.
They do. But
here, I told you, here is a very nearby. There is one Kottapadilaru Kanyasri Madadi.
yeah, the problem.
Somewhere there is very nearby. There are so many centers there.
The problem was though that Ames wouldn't let me work together with Artsy. if I had been able to work with both, it would have been.
That problem is there.
Yeah. So
Are you actually in which university or?
I'm at Ames. Yeah.
But not with Delhi.
No, not that.
Okay, I thought you are coming from Delhi.
No, I'm coming from Kochi. I've been in Edapally the whole time.
Because Amrita, actually, that program which I had given them, whether they took it up or not, so many other universities have taken it up. So I had given it actually for Amrita only. That entire book was written while I was in Amrita. It came out only in 2008.
Yeah, I saw that.
But I was till 2004 I was there in Amrita. At that time I had given all these things, and so I don't know whether they have started any program there, probably not. But in between, Anand Kumar used to call me in Chennai and ask about some patients, which should I give, this and that. That's why I asked, he is interested.
What I want, I mean, looking at that book, I think it would be very important at the University of Southern California School of Social Work. I mean, I'm going back.
I think you can get that in Amazon.
I'm going to get it because I think it's very.
It looks published in Delhi. That's why I asked, are you coming from Delhi? Because Delhi University students are doing some programs, Alzheimer's. They have given all the references from my books.
Yeah.
That's why I asked, are you from Delhi? Because they are using this. And Chandigarh University also using my book.
But I can also tell that compared to other music therapy books that I've seen, that's a lot of them I've seen and I've been like, okay, that's interesting.
Because proper work, then the indexing, this and that, everything is there in that book. I had given this both in English and Malayalam. Malayalam to a local publisher here in Kottayam. English one I gave to Readworthy Publications, New Delhi. The same book, both in English and Malayalam. That's why it took such a lot of time to write in both languages. But what happened is the English people, that is the Readworthy, did separate the medical part and the musical and spiritual part into two books. They published it as two books. Whereas these Malayalam
people make twice as much money.
That I don't know.
Yeah,
That because they are youngsters. I didn't take any money from them. Because actually usually you can take some royalty and all. I didn't take because they were just beginners. So I said, you take this. So I don't know what they did. That I don't know. They just gave me 25 books. Almost all are finished. Just one is there. People coming and getting the book. I don't know whether they are just taking or not, because I don't know. So many years. No?
Well, I hope to be able to find a copy. I'm going to bug Professor Nair, and he's going to help me get it.
Actually, I think I have given one copy to Prem Nair.
Yes.
Prem Nair has kept it in the library. I had told him to keep it in the library. I have given one copy. I went there and met him personally and gave it to him, saying that you please.
I'll go check out the library.
This book I have given. The other two books I haven't given because this is the medical book,
Yeah.
So this I have given. Other books out in the Jishod Kanchu Kanata. Other books out in there. So whatever is possible. Still I am doing actually. I have trained 5 people in faculty training in music therapy with Calicut University.
Yeah.
5 children. And of these 5, one has gone, I told you one has gone for PhD in music therapy. The other 4 has just...
It's a pretty rare, it's a very rare thing
Only
in
one.
that field. Yeah.
So to build up a younger generation is not that easy. That's what I'm...
Yeah, I agree.
When you start developing them only, then we understand that they have got other interests. They
get married, they want to go experience life.
But this girl wants to pursue a course in PhD and in music therapy itself, then do some good work, social work. She's interested in doing some social work around. So I said, you finish your PhD, you come back, we will have a contact with the Palliative Society too.
Yeah.
They are there. Then here there is a tunnel, not there is a program. Then there are some 1 or 2 Alzheimer's centers around. You will contact all these people. You start going and doing social service there. I am just actually waiting for her to come back.
It's actually too bad. I really should have met you months ago.
Yes.
if I had met you months ago, I would have been able to. I think you probably would have been the mentor that I needed while I was here. That's just. That's.
Whatever is
perfect.
better
But
late than never, no?
but you know, we met for a reason, so I have no doubt that.
God had made a wide plan in which people have to meet at certain points of time,
I
so
agree.
that this should go to the people, no?
Yeah.
So the younger generation, you are one of the younger generations who can take it up to the next.
Professor Nair is when I tell him.
Only I know him very early because whether his niece
Yes.
was there studying Lakshmi,
Yeah.
and he used to come to Amarda at that time. He also, his brother also used to come. So at that time onwards, I know Murli.
Well, I'm going to. I mean, he told me to come see you, and I didn't know really what I was going to find. But when I talk to him, I'm going to tell him that what a wealth of experience you have, and and I'm sure he will work to help continue the work that you're doing, and hopefully I can help in what way I can from where I am.
And after you go back, you just tell him that these are the things that, of course, you could not get everything in this thing, but part of it you have got, no?
Yes.
Now you have understood what the problem here is,
Yes.
and you just doing your own way. It will click. I am sure, because if you have got a good intention, God will make it.
Exactly.
That is what I feel, because that is how I worked. Now I am running a charitable society, but this charitable society doesn't accept money from anybody. It runs with my pension alone. I have a government pension. With that pension alone, a small charitable society, but it has got different wings, a literary wing, a music-therapy wing, like that. Different philosophy wing is there. All these children are part of it.
And it sounds to me that this comes from your father's heart.
Actually, I think that I came to Guruvayur at the fag end of my life, only at 69. At age 69 only I came to Guruvayur. But I think he was Guruvayur MLA in 1960. At that time, I became a medical student in 65. In 1960, he had told me, when you become a doctor, you come to Punyavarpalam, do service to the society people here, don't take any money, you be here, and you can go to, every morning you go to Guruvayur, and Guruvayur there are so many old people coming. There are so many old people are just brought here and dumped here, and the children coming and dumping older generation people here, but they don't starve because temple provides them with food every day. The temple is solace for them. Guruvayurappan gives food to them. So that type of people are here. So you come and serve them, and also Punyavarpalam people. That was his intention. Now, because I was in a medical college professor, I cannot live here, so I had to go there. So, but at the fag end of my life, I have come here and I am doing my last work here.
That's amazing. That's
So
really
that
amazing.
is I think it is his wish.
That is fantastic. Can I use your bathroom?